All right, hello. It is 8 p.m., February 16th, 2021, and we finally did get a look at the sun. You look at the satellite here, you'll see that late in the afternoon, we actually had some sunshine and blue sky. Some multicumulus, we had some clear skies for a little bit, and then we had these multicumulus clouds kind of roll in on us, but still, it was the most blue sky and sunshine we've seen in a while. And then in the evening, had kind of an interesting looking sky out there as well. With some passing clouds, and you could see the stars. So all in all, it was nice to see some clear sky, and that's a good sign. It looks like we do have some clear sky off to the north and west, and that means we might actually get a mostly sunny day tomorrow. So that's the good news. The bad news, of course, is that we have another storm to watch for Thursday. Let's go to the CONUS view here, and you can look at the whole United States, and you'll see for once there's clear skies over the East Coast. But here's the next storm already, waiting in the wings. This is the one down here for Thursday, starting to affect Texas here. And they're going to unfortunately get more snow over there. But you can see clear skies all the way up the East Coast. But this system, it's going to depend on how fast this system moves in. But you can see plenty of clear skies. So hopefully we can get a clear day tomorrow. Now it's interesting to look at here. If we go to let's change our area to the Gulf of Mexico so we can look at this. This is rather interesting. You could see all the clouds that are generated from the cold air moving over that very warm Gulf. I mean, imagine air in the 20s going over water that's in the upper 60s. I mean, that's pretty crazy. We're going to move this back so you can get an idea of what this looks like. And you can see, look at that. It's pretty impressive right there. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is some Gulf enhanced snow shower activity. Couldn't find any, but it would not surprise me. Right now, looking at the national radar picture, you'll see here there is some lake effect snows and maybe a few showers around Delmarva. All the rain that we had this morning has moved out. And this is what's affecting. So there is snow north of Dallas. This is the next system. Yes, look at that. There you go. This is actually enhanced from the Gulf of Mexico. So it looks like they're getting some showers and some mixing. This is all enhanced from the Gulf of Mexico. The winds are turning a little more to the, I guess so. That is pretty weird, huh? That is pretty weird. So yeah, you're getting some Gulf effect, I guess, if you want to call it that. So that's kind of interesting there. So let's go take a look. All right, we've finished looking at this. Again, this is the higher resolution satellite image. So you can see, again, what's going on. You can see these like bands as they go over to the Gulf. And you can see the snow cover, too. There's a lot of snow cover across much of the country now. We put a dent in the snow cover, but it's not all gone yet. It might be gone over New Jersey, the southern part of New Jersey, but still have snow on the ground, though a lot less, more the warmth and the rain that we had. So we're going to go over all of that. Let's see if they have any rainfall totals. They have not put any rainfall totals up, so I guess we will have to go and look at that right now we'll use this map. So again, you'll see the winter storm warnings in effect for Texas into Arkansas and even Mississippi. Ice storm warnings in effect, and then winter storm watches all the way up the east, all the way up through the Kentucky into West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York into New England. So let's take a look at the observations across the area. So we're dropping now, getting breezy out there. Temperatures around 40 degrees. But as you go to the west, it gets a lot colder. We got teens in western PA. We go further to the west into where that really cold air is. Indianapolis is around 12. St. Louis, Missouri. Missouri is still dealing with temperatures in the single digits to low teens. And Texas is still in the cold, too, as well. They're still in the freezer there. 32 at Houston, so it's come up a little bit. Not quite as brutal as last night, but still very cold for Texas. And we're going to go over how that's working with the power situation there as well. Still very cold for them, but the cold is subsiding a little teeny weeny bit, and it will tomorrow as well. And maybe Houston might make it above freezing tomorrow. I mean, it's very unusual to have countless days below freezing in this area, in that area along the Gulf Coast. It's very unusual. So let's go take a look at the precipitation. Well, first look at the high temperatures today because it got pretty warm. So look at the high temperatures today. It actually did hit the 50s in much of the area. So let's pull up the high temperatures if we can, and you'll see. Look at that, 54. The further east you went, the warmer it got. So it was 54 out in West Hampton. 54 in Farmingdale, the city, LaGuardia 53. Let's see what Central Park got up to. Drum roll, please. 51. So everybody pretty much got up above 50 degrees. Let's see how warm it got in New Jersey. Even warmer in Toms River. Looks like a 57 there. So very warm for the day. And that melted a lot of snow, and that's probably why most of it's gone in New Jersey. The other thing that we want to look at, of course, is the rainfall that we've had today, too. So let's go ahead and look at that. We'll go for midnight. Oh, I got to change this to rainfall. I got to do it again. Unbelievable. What? So this is the rainfall amount. Looks like everybody got close to an inch of 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rainfall across the area there. Let's see if New Jersey, what they got. A little less over there, a half inch. Ignore these numbers, 7.11. That is not right at all. Somebody, rain gauge malfunction there. So that's a look at the rainfall we've gotten. And so it's been quite a wet month. We're, again, going to look at the climate report for Central Park and islip today. We'll first start with Central Park. So high in Central Park, 51. So normal is supposed to be 42, so we're well above normal for the day. Precipitation, month to date, 3.40. Normal value is 1.73, so way, way wetter than normal, way more precipitation than normal. And the same thing goes for islip as well. And we're not done yet. So 52 at islip, and then precipitation here, a month to date, 2.01. Islip not quite as much above normal as Central Park. So with the precipitation. So let's go look at the latest with the power outage situation in Texas. Good news is it's down now to 3,218,232. So they've restored about 1.5 million customers in Texas, right? And it's going to be a very slow process, and another cold night. How they could not be prepared. Basically, they didn't winterize their power plants. And apparently I learned that this did happen once before, not quite to the severity, but they were warned to fix this. Texas, being the stubborn state it is, didn't listen, and now they're paying the price, unfortunately. After this, they need to do what's right, and there's a lot of corruption in Texas with these energy companies. And, Texas is actually independent so this state here there's not really any interconnections between Texas and the other states for power. They have their own power grid. They're the only state to do so, and this is part of the problem. They can't even get help from other states because they have no way to get help because they're not really connected to other states. So that's what makes it such a bad situation. Texas being Texas, they hopefully the folks who live in Texas change their government right now because their government is very corrupt. Get rid of Rick Scott. Not Rick Scott, Abbott. What is his name? Abbott. I was thinking of the governor of Florida, the old governor of Florida. But no, get rid of Abbott. Get him out of there, and put a governor in that's going to stand up against the energy industry. Because right now the energy industry has so much corruption, and they cut a lot of corners, and now they're paying the price, and all these innocent people are paying the price, and it's not fair at all. So let's go look at the latest weather maps here. And you will see here, this is your forecast chart. So you see high pressure is going to be building in, but here's that next storm over Texas. Cold front coming through the area right now. So let's go take a look at models. We'll start with the surface, and we'll kind of go to the upper air. But first, I want to go over the surface. So this is the storm pulling out that we just had. Here's the high pressure that's going to be building in, giving us some sunshine tomorrow. I really hope so. And then the next storm system, here it comes. This is the GFS now. There's been changes in the models once again with this storm. So this is the GFS now, and you can see it just has the cold air being hanging around a little longer, and therefore we'd have a longer period of snow and less rain. And this is, again, the GFS, which has always indicated that. But now the NAM has kind of started siding with the GFS. So this is what I mean with the rapidly changing weather information. So you do have this ridge here, and you have this high here. So it's going to be like a battle and see how much cold air we're going to be able to move out of the way. And that'll kind of determine how much snow we're going to get. Once that passes by, another cold high moves in for the weekend. And this system does not look to be moving that fast. It starts affecting us later Thursday and doesn't really get out of here until later Friday. So it's not going to be a fast mover either, which is part of the problem too. High moves in for the weekend, cold weather. That high moves on out. And then we get into another high that comes in. So it's definitely a change in the pattern. It's more progressive, which is good news. And things are moving along instead of being stuck in the same place, which is good to see that we're getting things moving again in the atmosphere. And the reason for that, we go to the upper air next. So go to that, and we'll go to the upper air. So again, you see there's that ridge that we got there. So a little rough. The ridge builds back again. And then this is the next system it's going to ride along. And the cold air comes in. Here comes the next trough for the weekend. Another ridge builds. But you can see it's different. But look at this. So looks like we could have a trough next week. And then a big ridge in the east winds up developing as you get toward the end of the month. And that probably would mean warmer weather. But then look what happens as you get into March, another trough. So even though it could warm up, we could still have some Arctic air. For those that don't like the Arctic air, we still could have some more Arctic air. But let's go to our anomaly chart here on the GFS, and you'll see here, again, those anomalies, those temperature anomalies over Texas. They will subside as we head into tomorrow and Thursday a little bit. And like I said, we get a little bit of that cold air tomorrow. Then that cold air starts its move eastward. So here we are Saturday. It's moving into Ohio. And I think we're going to be dealing with a little bit of it on the weekend, too. A little bit of that cold air. Obviously not the same kind of brutally frigid weather that they had in the Midwest, but we're going to be getting a taste of it on the weekend. But then after that, things warm up. We have a moderate week. Then some colder weather comes along. And then here comes another cold shot of air. There's some more cold shots of air that we're going to have to watch for. And the GFS keeps indicating toward the last couple of frames that we would get into some really cold air as we get into the first week of March. So that's, again, long range. So, we take it with a grain of salt at this point. Okay, so now let's go take a look at the NAM 12-kilometer. And we'll start looking at this next storm that we're going to be dealing with here. That's going to be moving into our area. So dry day tomorrow, obviously. High pressure builds in. But then this is what happens for Thursday. So snow would start probably around noon, and you can see it becomes heavy snow. And it looks like that there'd be some icing to the south, pops over southern Jersey there. But they would also get into some of the snow. But the NAM never really moves the cold air out of the way, and we wind up getting mostly snow for the event, and a little bit of rain toward the end before it moves out. And so the NAM would give us a decent snowfall. All right. Now, I don't think I'm not even going to look because I know I don't have the HRRR in yet. It's too early for that one. But we can go ahead and look at the NAM and see, how much snowfall is the NAM is predicting right now. And you will see the NAM is predicting quite a bit. It's even giving some areas of central Jersey up to a foot, and props for us 8 or 9 inches, which sucks because we just got rid of all the snow, or not all of it, but a lot of it, and now we're going to get more, which obviously is quite annoying. But this is the NAM, and this is originally the NAM. Remember we looked at the NAM yesterday, and let's go back to the NAM yesterday. All right, let's go look at the NAM yesterday, 18Z Monday. Look at the difference. So this is what I mean. A huge difference in the models. You see, they just changed in the day because the storm track changed. And it underestimated the cold air. And so now the storm track, you can see being it's closer to the coast. We're in the colder air, and we would get more snow. However, they could change again. But definitely the potential is there for decent snowfall. Let's go look at the GFS. Okay, we got the cold air in place. Here it comes. So you can see the heavier snow off to the south. It starts Thursday, and you can see GFS kind of keeps us in mostly snow too. So GFS, and then again, it's going to be that wet crap. It's not going to be powdery. We haven't had one powdery snowfall this year. At least the snowfall they had in Texas was powdery. But not what we get. GFS is kind of in agreement with the Euro about the amounts in that 6 to 10 inch range. All right, if we were to get hit by this right now, and the reason is the storm track's a little different, but it could change again. It could change again. That is the GFS. Now we go and we look at the ICON model, which I already looked at, and it had it warmer. Let's see what the ICON does. The ICON, it looks a little similar. So it seems to be let's see what the ICON gives us here. It doesn't look like the precipitation is heavy. Yeah, it's the ICON, and it doesn't have as intense of a storm as some of the other models generate. But again, I don't think the HRRR can help us at this point. I don't have enough of it in. We can look at the 18Z, but I don't think it's going to go far enough out. So again, this is the HRRR. Actually, it does. All right, so yeah, it starts HRRR. Yeah, that's as far as we got. That's as far as we got here. But it just has a larger storm and more cold air, because we do have this cold air mass moving in tonight. That's going to bring the temperatures down quite a bit. So let's go ahead and look at the temperatures on the HRRR as well on this run, and you'll be able to see here what's going to happen here. So obviously we're around 40 now, but it's going to drop, and it's going to get cold by the morning. We could be around 20 degrees, and tomorrow we're probably not going to make it much above 30. So probably high around 28, 30. All right, 27 to 30 degrees. And that's the thing. We have the cold air already in place, and it's just not going to want to move a budge out of the way that fast. So here's the GFS, similar idea with the cold air. You can see there's warm air, but the storm track's different, so the warm air stays off to the south. We don't really get into that. The storm passes by, and then we get a piece of that really cold air that's going to come in for the weekend. Has Saturday up to 30, but I mean, look at these temperatures off to the west, though. Just to the west in Ohio, below zero. What makes them think that it's not going to get over here? I'm going to have to watch this, because I think the weekend could be quite cold, especially if we get that snow cover. Expect to stay below freezing, pretty much well below freezing the entire weekend. And then we would drop into the teens at night, maybe single digits. And then for Sunday, again, high struggling to reach 30 degrees. But then after that, we start warming up a little bit. Here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we warm up above freezing. And maybe, just maybe, we can get rid of the snow. And look at that. This would be next Saturday, February 27th. Look at that, 70. If we had a day like that, that would definitely get rid of the snow before the next cold air comes in. And then this is that next plunge that the GFS is showing. Look at how cold that it would be. Single digits Thursday morning. And yeah, high struggling to reach the mid-20s for that Thursday. But again, that's ways in the future. It's really going to be hard to tell what's going to happen with that. So let's go take a look at the sky conditions and see. Hopefully we can get a clear day tomorrow. So this is the GFS. Looks clear in the morning, and then it kind of wants to roll this cirrus in from the system that's in Texas. It brings it in really fast. So I don't know if I'm buying that. I'm hoping we can have at least part of the day mostly sunny before that cirrus moves in. And then we're dealing with the clouds in that system Friday, and then we'd have to wait until Saturday when maybe we could get some sunshine again, but cold. Sunday could be a mostly sunny day. So the weekend could be nice and mostly sunny, but then we're going to deal with more clouds again as we get into the next week there. But then we could have some more sunny weather, hopefully. So it's the sunshine also helps melt the snow as well. The rain does help. I think the sun actually does even a better job at it, getting rid of it. But there's still a lot on Long Island. There's still a lot out there. Getting more. It just seems like we're never going to get rid of the snow until like the end of March, which is kind of ridiculous. You think about it. So let's look at a couple of other models here with the sky. We'll look at the RGM as well. This is the RGM model for the sky, and you see we start off clear, but then it wants to roll this. I'm sorry, this is the NAM model. My mistake. It wants to roll this cirrus in on us pretty early in the day, like around 11, around noon. So we won't even get a clear day tomorrow, and we might have to wait until the weekend to get a clear day. I'm hoping it isn't, because the sky really looks nice out, and that would be a shame. But that's the problem, It would be nice if this storm system that's over Texas just went to the south, but because of the flow in the upper atmosphere, we still got that ridge off the Atlantic, so instead of going off to our south, it's going to go right up the coast. So this is the RGM, and you can see, again, that cirrus that we may be dealing with, which may mean we're not going to get a nice blue sky, but we should at least get some sunshine, and then we're dealing with the clouds for Thursday, obviously. So let me go to one other model. This is the European model here that we're going to look at for the storm. The European model we're going to look at here, and we're going to look at first the temperatures on this European model, and then we'll look at the sky cover and everything else. So you see, once we go to noon tomorrow, you'll see it's a lot colder. Temperatures tomorrow, like I said, we're going to be staying below freezing. Highs in the upper 20s. It's going to be cold. And for tomorrow night, pretty much temperatures stay steady in the 20s. Here is Thursday, 7 a.m. We are in the 20s. 11 a.m. We're still below freezing, and I'll show you the temperatures because that's kind of important when it comes to precipitation. And you can see it's not really bringing a whole lot of warm air, and we stay below freezing. This is 4 p.m. Let's go to 6 p.m. A little bit of warm air tries to get in. You can see this warm air that's just offshore. If we could get that in, then we could change it over to rain. You can see, look at the warm air right here. This is the wind. Man, what dumbass. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wind. Oh, boy. Now I got to go back. All right, so this is the temperatures here for Wednesday again. So here we go, Thursday. I was like, why is that so much warm air there? It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be that warm. But you can see the European keeps us below freezing. And it tries to bring in some warmer air to the Jersey Shore, but we stay below freezing. The warm air tries to get closer to the Jersey Shore. And it might work its way in to change it over to rain. It might, but it might not. And then behind it, it's staying cold, 32 for Friday. And then Saturday, let's see, the European actually gets us up to 35. Wow, I don't know if I'm buying that, especially if we get the snow cover. So let's go take a look at what the European was predicting for the snow here. New snow. Let's go take a look at that. This is the next 3 days. And it's predicting 5.5 inches. And it actually has a little more over Jersey, 7.2 inches in central Jersey. So we're going to have to see how much snow we can get, but it looks like there's going to be at least a good chance of at least 5-inch snowfall for this. You can also look at the clouds in the European and take a look at our storm from here as well. So it's just tomorrow, 7 a.m., 11 a.m. You can already see that cirrus trying to get in. And then it's kind of in by, and then here comes the storm here. This is the storm for Thursday. And then we would have colder air coming back into the picture on Saturday. I don't know why the European doesn't want to drop the temperatures any lower than that. But, every model has their own little difference in the way it's going to deal with this next storm that we're going to have. And it's going to really be hard to get a good idea until probably tomorrow night as to exactly what the amount of snowfall is going to be. But I'm thinking we are going to see snowfall. Whether it snows and then changes to rain, we're not sure yet. We're not sure yet of that. We're just going to have to keep an eye on all of this. We'll look at the FGen on the GFS so we can look at this for the storm as well for Thursday. As you can see, there's, not record-breaking, not crazy, but you can see it's definitely in the blue. So there's the blue right there. This is definitely the blue, and you can see would be where there would be heavy precipitation right here. It's the GFS FGen. We can also look at the NAM FGen as well. And let's see what the NAM looks like. NAM is much heavier. So this would really slam us with some heavy precipitation right around Thursday afternoon. That would be heavy precipitation right there. So that is quite impressive. And again, if you take a look at the surface, you would see here the heavy snow that would be part of that band that would develop. Might even be sleet in there as well. You can look at the 3-kilometer NAM as well, just to give you a higher resolution. And you'll see here that the NAM kind of makes the heaviest precipitous snow, and then we get a little sleet, maybe freezing rain after that. And this is as far as it goes. But you can see it keeps the cold air kind of locked in. The rain and the warmer air might make its way to the east end, might make its way to southern Jersey. But for the rest of us, we're dealing with this. And you can see that's quite a bit of heavy snow right there that could come down. And like I said, when you look at the total snowfall on the NAM here, this is the higher resolution NAM. Now, you'll see that it gives us around that 8-inch mark. So, again, we're going to have to see. Hopefully it's not a foot of snow, but it definitely is indicating. And the other thing that we also need to look at is what's the liquid equivalent of this. That's the other thing I want to look at here as well. And you'll see here, in fact, let me go to the 12 because it goes a little further out. This would be the liquid equivalent that we would see, which would be another inch or so of liquid equivalent on top of it. This has been quite a stormy, wet February, and it's likely to continue at least one more storm, and then after that, hopefully we can finally get a break and dry out. That's going to be it for this weather update. Hey, I can't complain. At least you're not in Texas where they're dealing with freezing in their homes because of no power. So could always be worse, could be a lot worse. So that's going to be it. Take care, and thank you for watching.